In today's presentation, I'm going to be talking about World War II. What was World War II? World War II was a war fought from 1939 to 1945 between the Axis power and the Allied power. The reason for the war was because Germany invaded Poland on September 1st of 1939. This, in fact, was one of the deadliest wars in all of human history. This was where about 70 million people were killed. In our textbook, Chastain states, throughout the years of the Great Depression and World War II was a liberal authoritarian of classic neocolonial cut. Who was involved in World War II? There was two sides. There was the Allies' power and the Axis power. The Allies' power involved Great Britain, Russia, the United States, as well as France. However, France surrendered to Germany in 1940 after only 6 weeks of fighting. On the Axis side, there was Germany, Italy, and Japan. With these two groups, each one had leaders. For Great Britain, the leader was Winston Churchill. Russia's leader was Joseph Stalin. The United States had Franklin D. Roosevelt as the leader, and in France, Albert Lebrun was the leader. On the Axis side, Germany was running by Adolf Hitler. Italy had Benito Mussolini as their leader, and in Japan, it was Hirohito. A little about Adolf Hitler, as he was one of the main people in this war and someone who was talked about a lot. Hitler was born on April 20 of 1889. He was a Nazi Germany. Hitler invaded Poland from the west on September 1st of 1939, while France and Britain declared war on Germany 2 days later, which started World War II. From the east, Soviet soldiers invaded Poland on September 17. There is a few underlying causes of World War II. However, one of the underlying causes was the Treaty of Versailles. During the Treaty of Versailles, Germany lost land, reparations were needed, which is where they needed to pay money, and the Allies collected money to pay the war debts to the US since they were in debt because of World War II. Germany had to pay $57 trillion, which then bankrupted the German economy. After the war, Chastain states many statements of the afterwar, one of them which being is nationalists could take credit in 1945 after the close of World War II for effectively leading the major Latin American countries through turbulent times. Great things appeared to be on the horizon. Also, populist versions of nationalism dominated Latin America's political scene after World War II. After World War II, Latin American industrialization lost momentum. The 1930s nationalist dream of economic independence proved difficult to achieve in the post-war world, all stated by Chastain. Here are my works cited. And then here is my timeline of World War II. Starting with September of 1939, this is where Germany invaded Poland and World War II began. On September 3rd of 1939, Britain and France declare war on Germany. On September 22nd, 1940, Germany, Italy, and Japan created the Axis alliance. On December 8 of 1941, Britain and the United States declare war on Japan. On December 16, 1944, Germans attack during the battle where they lost to the Allies, losing fate to the German army. On May 8, 1945, the Axis power surrenders a week before Hitler commits suicide, and they celebrate the victory in Europe, and this is also known as VE Day, which is obviously where they celebrated their victory in Europe. This was my